Hi ladies and gentlemen, Adam Winch here with Defenders USA. I want to show you one of the tests we have here at Defenders. It can be a little bit confusing at first until it's explained, so I'm going to run through this quickly. You can see our Defenders poker cards that are here. Now, these poker cards are, if you take from top to bottom, are 3 by 3/8 and from side to side 2 by 2/8 inches. Now, what we do is we give you the option in our training courses to shoot this either at 5 yards, 7 yards, or 10 yards, and kind of the granddaddy of it all being 10 yards. If you go to the 10 yards to shoot this, if you're drawing from concealment, so I don't know if you can see, but I've got a gun from concealment, an appendix here, and I'll be shooting my H&K VP9, right? H&K VP9. Pulling from a Haven Defense CO, havendefenseco.com, a Haven Defense Co. holster, and I'll be firing one shot at this card. I'll be doing this at 10 yards. And it has to be from concealment sub 2 seconds. Now, if it's from an open carry rig, or say a duty rig that has little to no retention, then it has to be, you take off 0.25 of that. So it would have to be sub 1.75 seconds, but in this case, because I'm going from concealment, it's sub 2 seconds. So that means it's got to be 1.99 or less to hit it. Now, if you get it in that time frame with the one shot, and you get 2 mulligans or 2 alibis, right? If you pull and you're not ready to shoot, fine. You've got 2 more tries, but the second you crack the shot, then it's game on, it's over, right? So, for somebody to hit this in what I would call a patch run, where we give you a Defenders USA patch, you've got to be able to hit this in sub 1.5. So say 1.49 or less. And that's what I like. I don't always get it, but that's a tough one. In fact, we just recently had Chris Matlock from Midland, Texas. He got it in 1.44, which is fantastic. He's one of only 3 people in the world who've done it so far. And John Cree of Active Self-Protection, of course, myself. My fastest time so far is a 1.41, but oftentimes I go above the 1.5. So to patch it, it's got to be 1.49 or less from concealment. To be able to earn the card, if it's sub 2 seconds, then you get the card. So we'll initial it, time, date, stamp it, everything else, and that's your gift because you got it. The second card here is you shoot 5 rounds. And of course you can do this from 5 yards, 7 yards, or 10 yards. And the time gets harder and harder the closer you get. But for the 5 yard, we've got to still hit this card from concealment sub 5 seconds. It's got to be 4.99 or less. And if you want to get a patch for having done this, not just earn the card itself, then it's got to be under 4.5. So it's got to be 4.49 or less, all 5 rounds. Now, impact zones on these cards, if you see them, it's not the entire card. It's the inside line of the entire card. So the inside line and line breaks count here. Anywhere as long as it touches the inside line or somewhere inside, that works. So for this first card, we're going to do sub 2 second. For this card, it's going to be sub 5 seconds, so 1.99 or less, or 4.99 or less from 10 yards. Of course, to really make it good, it's sub 1.5 or 1.49, or here it's sub 5 seconds or 4.49 seconds or less. And I'll tell you what, guys, girls, this is hard. This one, I don't even get probably 50% of the time. I'd say now I'm down to about 40% of the time. This one I tend to get, I don't know, about 80% of the time. Now, mea culpa here. I've been traveling for about 3 months and teaching all over the place. And when I was at home during that 3 months, I've been sick as a dog with COVID. So I've had very little gun time. I'm just in the last week or so starting to pick up my dry fire. So I'm curious where I'm at. And so this is what we're going to try. So let's go ahead and take this camera back and let's take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the clock on. And I'm going to set this clock to a 2-second time frame. And I'm going to give myself 3 official draw strokes on the 2-second time frame. I'm not going to shoot it, but I just want to see would I've done it within my 2 seconds. So we've got it on the clock so you can hear it. There you go, 2 seconds. All right, so I'm going to give it a couple dry draw strokes and then we'll go. 10 yards. Okay. That was a bad draw stroke. Went to the gun badly. Here we go. Okay, all day. One more time. Okay, so I've gotten 3 dry draw strokes in. Now I'm going for real. I've got 3 attempts basically, but the second I crack a shot, it's all over. So I've got 2 times I can have it as a mulligan, right? If something doesn't draw right, anything else, it's just a test of skill, then we can redo it. But by the 3rd one, I've got to go. So my advice is if it's there, just go. All right, here we go. All right, so I had a bad grip on that one. So this is it, man, for all the peanuts in the world. Here we go. We're going to do that again. Okay, time on that, if you can see it, let me make sure you can see it, is 1.68. 1.68. So 1.68. Let's go up and see if we actually hit the target. Okay, so taking it in close to the target, you can see dead center of the defender's shield. Absolutely dead center. I saw the dot drop in. Getting a little bit closer. Okay, so I saw the dot drop in, and I could have triggered it sooner, but I wanted to be sure, so I took the time to stabilize it. So I did not get it below the 1.5. I love it below 1.5, 1.49 or less, but that's an absolutely solid run at 1.68. 1.68. Okay, so now we're going to go to this target here. This is 5 rounds. 5 rounds, sub 5 seconds. This is a hard one, boys and girls. This is a truly tough one. Okay, so it's set for 5 seconds. On the first beep, it'll be go. On the second beep, I should be done. That was 5 seconds. All right, I'm going to give it a couple dry fire practices. 10 yards. 10 yards. Three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. And consistent, efficient, disciplined shooter. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, 3 attempts. 3 attempts. Whew, this is a tough one. Here we go. 10 yards. Okay, so went on the first attempt. Time was 4.25. 4.25. I'm hoping you can see that. 4.25. I'm pretty happy with that amount of time. I took a lot of time on my draw stroke. It didn't seem to go as well as I wanted. So let's go make sure all the hits are there. Yeah! Oh yeah, boy. Oh, let's take a look at this. Hey, I'm pretty happy. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that, boys and girls, was a patch run for this. So a 4.25. So the first one was done in 1.68 seconds. The second one, which I'm really proud of, was done in 4.25. I honestly think this might be my fastest time ever. I think so far I've got it down to 4.41, I think. So to me, I'm pretty happy with that, 4.25. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and date time stamp these today. So today is November 22nd, 22, okay? This was done at 10 yards, and it was done in 1.68 seconds. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and initial that just because that's what I do for my students. Same thing here, 11/22 of 2022. This was also done at 10 yards, okay, and 4.25. I'm gonna go ahead and initial that. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm pretty happy with this, guys. I'm pretty happy, right? This is sub 2, so it's not a patch run, but I get to now keep this card because I got in sub 2 from concealment. This is a patch run, which means I just earned another Defenders USA patch, and this was done in sub 4.49, so 4.25 with all 5 hits there. I'm really happy with that. Understand the reason I do this test right here. I like this because it forces you from the aspect of having to fight. It forces you to really hone in your vision, really dial in everything that you do to make sure that you get the hits that you need to make. You can't just spray and pray bullets out. You actually got to take the time to see what you need to see, make the hits, so you actually get what you need to do. So, boys and girls, that's a Defenders USA patch test. Now, another way you can get this patch is if you get this under sub 2 and you get this under sub 5, if you get both of them, you'll also get a patch. So you can earn the card on either of them if you get it sub 5 or sub 2, but if you get both under sub 2 and sub 5, you get a patch. Or the other way is to get this under 1.5 and get this under 4.45 under 4.5. So you can patch on either one of these, or you can hit I wouldn't say the minimum standard, it's a tough standard. If you get both of them in the right amount of time, you can also get a patch. So I'm gonna go grab a patch so I can show you what we're talking about. All right. So here you go. Here's the Defenders USA patch. It's a PVC patch. It's got Velcro on the back, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty proud of these patches here. So I just patched a second time on the Defenders card. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's one of our tests at Defenders USA, and I just wanted to show you. Take care.